following video is a summary and not an exhaustive overview of William Carey's life. Just want to say that up front. Thank you. William Carey was born in Pollarsbury, England in 1761, and he died in Saramfor, India in 1834. Between those two dates, quite a lot of things happened. Carey was the oldest of 5 boys. His father and mother were involved in the Anglican Church. His dad actually worked as a secretary for the local Anglican Church. Carey himself did not receive a lot of formal education, but he did have access to the church's library, and as a child read a lot of books. When Carey was young, it became apparent he had a rare skin condition that made it difficult for him to spend long periods of time in the sunshine. As a result, his father had to help him find alternative forms of employment. Carey ended up becoming a shoemaker's apprentice in the town of Piddington nearby. One faithful Christmas, when receiving gifts from his regular customers, he was given a strange choice. Should he accept a 6pence or a shilling? Shilling is more money, so Carey took it. Unfortunately for Carey, the shilling was fake. He tried to swap it out with one of his master's real shillings, and he got caught, and as a result was very embarrassed. He didn't want to go out in public, and he stopped going to church regularly. Though when he did eventually emerge, he started doing something a little bit different. Carey started attending a local church run by the Dissenters, who were not part of the Church of England. And during this time, there were prayer meetings going on, and Carey heard a sermon on Hebrews 13:13. It's believed that at this time, Carey became a Christian. It wasn't long after this until Carey himself started taking an interest in preaching and took a position as a Baptist pastor in the town of Malton, near Piddington. He was pretty lean on money during this time, and he supplemented his income with teaching, but he wasn't a very popular teacher, and all of the children deserted him, so he started cobbling again. During this time, Carey began to revisit stories from his childhood, in particular, the last voyage of Captain Cook. Cook talked about the people he met in Polynesia as if they were savages. Carey knew they were people who were made in God's image, who needed to hear the gospel. It was during this time Carey started work on his very own book, a pamphlet investigating the use of means for the conversion of the heathen. He made friends with a guy called Andrew Fuller, who had finished work on a book called The Gospel Worthy of All Acceptation. It seemed God was leading Carey down a particular path, but one he wouldn't fully realize until a little bit later. Carey started pushing for the formation of a particular Baptist missionary union for his portion of England. Just a few towns. The other pastors, including Andrew Fuller, wondered if it would even be possible for them to support mission work. Carey pushed them to believe it was possible, that cooperating amongst their churches, they could, in fact, accomplish this task, because it was essential for the Christian mission. Carey won the day after several meetings, and the union was formed. Though the initial donations were meager, they began to amount quickly. Now the only question was who would go. After some soul-searching and urging, Carey commits to go. The initial season of ministry in India was very costly to Carey. One of his sons passed away, along with his first wife. This was very, very challenging on its own, but in addition to this, several years were spent in ministry and not a single person trusted Jesus. Carey began to wonder if he had made a mistake, but God had other plans and moved him and his family to the city of Saramfor, where his ministry flourished. The Bible was translated, and many people were not only converted to Christianity, but began training as workers to take the gospel to other parts of India. We can gain some incredible missionary insights from Carey's life, but I want to leave us with just 3. Carey emphasized the importance of training indigenous workers to take the gospel places white men and women could never go. The second thing I want to emphasize is Carey pushed for the training and use of women in missions. Carey saw all people created by God who love Jesus Christ as instruments in the Redeemer's hands. The third thing we want to emphasize, or I want to emphasize, I suppose, is that the Bible needs to be translated into native languages so people can hear the gospel in their own tongue. Carey pushed for this and was instrumental in bringing it into modern missions. Thanks for watching.